Dragonball Speak presents Fusion Reborn. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Wesley.
And I'm Ryan.
And we are here with no camera because Wesley's wife screwed us up. We didn't plug in the battery.
Yeah. We share an outlet, and she unplugged the battery that was charging, and I didn't realize it until right before we were going to record. So here we are.
Wesley's wife, also my sister, also Ryan's sister.
Also very hot.
And also didn't plug in the battery. Gentlemen, Ryan, it's been a while.
True.
You're back for the movie. You were here last time in the middle of... No, we did Superhero without Wesley. We did our thoughts and feelings on Superhero. And then last time with all three of us, I think you happened to jump in the middle of a regular episode.
That's
Is that
true.
correct?
That seems about right.
Wesley, how are you feeling? Just give me okay, so let's just start with this. You wrote down what you thought Fusion Reborn was going to be. Were you correct?
Kind of.
All right, what was your one sentence, two sentence summary?
I said all villains, well, not all, but villains resurrected and then they fuse. And the reason
That's a fair
Broad brush.
yeah.
The reason is because I saw the cover art on Apple when we rented the movie, and there was a dude, the main guy. I actually don't even know if we ever got his name.
Janemba.
They said it.
Oh, that's right. He looked like Boo fused with I don't know who.
Like Cell, maybe?
Yeah, but I was getting Boo vibes, so I'm like, oh, this must be after Z, and then they get resurrected and fuse. And I only said fuse because of Fusion Reborn.
Yeah, that's fair. So whenever you said you saw something on the thumbnail, I thought you just saw Gogeta.
I didn't even put together that was Gogeta. But yeah, that was Gogeta.
All right. So we'll start with the most important question for both of you guys, and then I'll go third. I'll let Ryan go first on this. Gogeta or Vegito?
Oh, easy Gogeta. Easy. Just the design alone, I feel like is better. The fusion, the Patera earrings are just... I don't know, man. There's just something about it that's always kind of more cringy, ironically.
More
than
cringy.
the dance. Yeah, for some reason, the fusion dance to me, it just feels better. It fits better than the earrings do. The earrings feel like more of a magic device that just kind of saves the day, versus the dance seems more skill based. I know it's really not, but hey, it works better for me.
So yeah, real quick, the difference being here that the Patara earrings are quote unquote forever.
Yeah.
And the fusion dance is 30 minutes. Wesley, Vegito or Gogeta?
Vegito.
No! Why?
I'm a hater of the shirt that both
The vest?
I don't like the vest.
No,
I didn't like it in Dragon Ball Z either.
Oh.
I don't like the puffiness.
I love the puff. I love puffy.
puffiness.
I love.
Also, as bad as I don't remember liking Vegito's anything that much in the show. And this movie was also 50 minutes, but Gogeta got nothing to work with. It was
But he's so cool.
I guess.
The hair is better. The fit is significantly better.
I love the face.
I love his face. He's got Vegeta's Widow Peak. He's got the one bang. Vegito, to me, is much lamer in general.
And just every time you outside, even it's probably not fair to talk about outside this movie, but even outside, every time he makes an appearance, it's just so good.
Yes.
Not that you have that to lean on, but
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. But overall, I would just, I just think fusion kind of is whatever. It's just,
But it's Goku Vegeta's fusion. It's different. Fusion's whatever if it's Goten and Trunks, because who cares? But if it's Goku and Vegeta, and then it goes really hard.
I like that whenever that Goku was explaining the dance, he was calm, but then he would do the parts of the dance loud. So he'd be like, so the first step is it's a ballet dance. Phew! And then next you want to make your hands feel like they're rivers of water.
Yeah, so there's let's just start from the beginning at this point, and then we'll get through our nitpicks.
I want to know thoughts on the movie.
Okay, yeah. Well, you first.
This is one part fever dream it's like a fever dream with the pace of fan fiction. But it's like enjoyable to watch. There's some, I don't know if cameos is the proper word. 'Cause usually cameos are good, fun people to see, but I don't think I ever would have guessed that, Hitler would make an appearance in, a Dragon Ball Z anything.
A big appearance, like not once,
A main character, a main
not
villain.
twice.
Yeah.
To be clear, he was never named. His official title is actually the Dictator.
Was that in the credits?
Yeah.
I think I know which dictator they were trying to emulate.
I think it was Stalin.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, well they brought back a bunch of dead people. Weird choice, but you know, they also had Dracula and Cinderella, like it's probably just a bunch of random
Was
people.
Cinderella?
It was Juliana.
Juliana, okay.
It did look like Cinderella.
I heard,
maybe
I was taking a note and I heard the Anna part at the end.
Okay.
But then Hitler becomes like the main villain back on Earth, even though Frieza and his dudes were there, who I thought was going to play.
We got a
bigger role.
one-frame Raccoon and one frame. I think the whole Ginyu squad was just like literally a frame.
And then, they. We'll get to the other parts, but yes.
So but overall, enjoyable or waste of time in the Dragon Ball Z movie scale? Did you like it? We'll rank movies later. Did you like it?
Like the rest of the movies we watched, I don't think I'll need to watch it again.
I don't
watch it
I don't
again.
think any of these need to be watched again.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily want to either. It was fun and I'm glad I did, but
if there's one thing you appreciated the most about the movie, what would it be?
Surprisingly, this might surprise you, the art. For one half of the movie.
That is the correct answer.
There are two art styles.
Yes, there are.
And the main Dragon Ball Z team went hard.
Yeah.
The other studio that must have been hired or outsourced, they were making a coloring book or something. I don't know.
Super weird.
Yeah, it was like Yoshi's Island or something. Like very bold lines and strange art. But the other art,
dude,
it was like very different for Dragon Ball Z. It reminded me of like the cover art on a manga. Like very saturated, lots of shadow work, very like just every
budget.
shot
It's
was
budget.
bold.
It's
Yeah,
budget.
it was sick. I liked it.
Yeah, the art's amazing. Ryan, what are your general thoughts on the movie as a whole? I say movie. You know what that means.
So there's definitely, as per most of the Dragon Ball movies, there's definitely a lot of filler moments. This actually goes for a subplot, which was the subplots are a definite waste of time. We're all here for one thing. We're all here for Gogeta, and it delivered. And also just the, like Wesley said, the art honestly is amazing compared to what we usually get in movies. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely, I wouldn't say call it a waste of time. I think it's worth a watch. The villain is such a cool design.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we saw more choreography, but I mean,
yeah, it's interesting to me that most of the choreography went to the Goku Super Saiyan 3 versus Janemba versus the Gogeta fight.
I actually really liked the choreography with Super Saiyan 3 versus Gajimba because it was very different than usually the choreography in Dragon Ball Z is like a wider shot, and we're seeing both of them in the shot doing their things. This was very stylized, and very fast paced, like lots of cutting, just boom, boom, all over the place.
But also
very different for Dragon Ball Z.
Also, sometimes like really intimate. Like they would go slower with some of those hits and really like let you kind of feast on what was happening. Yeah. Like they would do some of those slower. Yeah, fast, of course, yeah, and you're getting two perspectives, and the animation's great. And but sometimes they would, I don't know, like let something happen, also, like a punch or a blast or something.
And I also appreciate that they tried. They added character development for Pikkon. You know, like we don't have that much to go off.
I'm sorry, who?
Pikkon.
That's a Pikkon living.
Whoa, Pikkon.
Yes.
You said pecan.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, what? You're rolling back.
Roll it back. Regardless.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
They did add much more characterization to him, even though he was kind of a waste of time, honestly.
I
But
wouldn't say much more.
they added some. Like before, compared to like what we had in the filler, right? In the episodes. In the episodes, he's very blank slate. Like,
Yeah.
He's very like, he's just a serious dude. He just likes to fight. Here we see him be frustrated with Goku. We see him kind of feel embarrassed at the situation he's in. It's a little bit. It's not a lot. It's something.
It is a little bit more, and it's a welcome sight because he is, I wouldn't say a fan favorite character, but people like him for his brief appearance in the Otherworld tournament arc. And I think it's cool to see him again of all characters when it easily could have been like Piccolo or something.
Think of it this way. How often do we see that in a movie, a Dragon Ball movie, that they add something? They had a choice when they were making this movie. They could have kept him the way he was, or they could have done what they did here. And I don't know. I appreciate the effort.
He did unfortunately get the lamest part of the movie in general, which I don't know that I've ever sat down and watched this movie all the way through, but I've seen so much of it that I may as well have. Just putting that out there. I don't know that I've ever actually sat down. But anyway, the fact that his role was essentially to yell insults at a wall.
And for what?
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
Yeah, was he trying to get I forget his name,
King Yama
out? Or?
Yeah, maybe
he did get him out. We never know.
Sure.
And then also it's like, okay, he insulted Janemba once, and why? How did that help?
Oh yeah, he was like, you have the same weakness. Then he did it. Then Janemba appeared to be injured, but then he wasn't anymore.
Yeah, he had like a giant black slash through him,
Yeah.
and then I was like, oh, okay. And then
Also,
I was like, do they need to fuse? Like, is that necessary? It seems like Pikkon's got it.
Yeah, just surround him and just say your mama jokes all around him.
the Pennywise, the Pennywise we call it.
Yes.
Spoilers for It Chapter 1, the movie, not the book.
No,
the
chapter 2, right? Or is that chapter 1?
That's how they defeat him in the beginning of Chapter 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the end of Chapter 1, excuse me, and then at the end of Chapter 2,
That's
as
with the
adults,
turtle,
how do
right?
they kill him as adults?
It's kind of similar. I can speak to
He's
the
not-
book. I can speak to the book. It's kind of similar how they defeat him.
So they insult when they're kids. They insult him, and then he kind of slinks away.
Imagination.
And then when
The
they're
second one,
adults,
he's the turtle thing.
he's not a turtle.
He's not the turtle.
He's like something.
He's like has different.
They're in a big
forms.
cave.
He's an ancient being.
Yeah. I think they learned the power of friendship to defeat him.
Wait, are you serious?
Georgie.
Oh my god! Hiya, Georgie. All right, starting from the beginning, we got Goku versus Frog, and this time they keep calling him Frog. Actually,
Thank goodness, because the real ones know it's Frog.
and then it's Goku versus Pikkon. I kind of thought they were redoing it, but then they kind of said it was another tournament.
Yeah, this was a Kai sponsored tournament.
So let's talk in universe. Well, yeah, we have one of those.
Yeah, but this is another one.
In universe, Goku mentions that he has fought Majin Buu, and Vegeta is dead. Those two things are a fact. So, but how does that work? Because Goku doesn't go back to Otherworld after he fights Majin Buu.
This works because the movie was made shortly after Goku died. Expired from showing the Super Saiyan 3 form. That's how it works. And the movie doesn't know how the arc ends.
But he goes to Supreme Kai. Oh, right. Because he goes to Supreme Kai's world at that point. He doesn't go to Otherworld.
Correct.
And so maybe he made a pit stop for a tournament.
if he even if the world was in peril, if he heard there was a tournament, he would make a pit stop. It's believable.
Yeah, so we got that, and the setup is very basic. There is a employee, I guess, who's rocking out, and the hell juice from the guys going to hell, the spirits going to hell, overflows.
But hold on, the loudest headphones in the world. He's wearing headphones, and inside the building, which is heaven made.
Yeah.
King Yama can hear the music and he's pissed about it.
Yeah.
So this dude's ears are done. But he's also got the power of rock and roll. And that is how you break open the time spectrum universe.
Long-term hearing loss. It's real.
Yeah, it is. I will have it.
It's real. So yeah, that happens. And what I didn't get was that when all that spills over, it kind of blows everything up and encapsulates stuff and all wreaking havoc. Then we see Janemba. He turns into Janemba, the one I call Big Baby.
Yeah.
Sounds exactly like the baby from Resident Evil 8.
Can you do it for us?
Can we step back?
Not my best work.
Can we step back for a second? Did you guys recognize what was playing on the Walkman?
I didn't recognize it.
It was the original Dragon Ball soundtrack.
No.
It's a thing, yeah.
All right. I feel like I would have recognized
Wait,
it.
the song, like the
Not like the intro song.
It's like a rock version or something.
The original soundtrack. It could be any. Okay, that's fair. But it could be, if it's just the original soundtrack, it could be like music from the actual show too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I still am surprised I didn't recognize it, but cool bit of trivia. How did you guys feel? Okay, so another bit of added context for me was I didn't even realize that Janemba Big Baby and Janemba Cool Guy are the same character, I guess.
Wait, the
big fat
demon
baby.
guy at the end?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I did while we were watching.
Oh,
but
okay,
prior to this, I didn't realize they were this. I've seen both of them, but I didn't know or forgot or whatever. But
Are they in Fighter Z?
Janemba is DLC.
That's awesome.
And he's incredibly freaking cool.
Yeah. You get Big Boy Janemba or just
Nah, just cool Janemba.
Is Big Boy Boo in there? Bubblegum Boo?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Boo and Kid Boo. Majin Buu and Kid Buu.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they went with that decision of making him. Maybe it's just the fact that Majin Buu is a thing and they want to capture that character design again.
It felt like that. Yes.
Because I feel like it definitely didn't add too much character narrative wise.
No, I was actually a little frustrated. So like the big fat big baby Janemba sequence with Goku lasted really long.
Yeah.
Like way too long. And I was like, man, I bet Wesley thinks that this is like the villain.
I thought we were at the end of the movie when he defeated him, but then he started sucking himself, and
That would have been a very huge disappointment.
yeah, and I was like, oh, they really like this one.
So everyone's coming out of hell. We get like zombies are coming out of hell. We see Gohan and Videl are washing dishes with Chi-Chi and Goten and them, and then they go out because someone calls the Great Saiyan Girl and Saiyan Man. And yeah, so Frieza appears. Did you expect the old Frieza cameo?
No, and I didn't expect him to slap that tail weirdly like 4 times. They just kept showing him. And one note for the entire movie, the sound is weird. Very quiet movie overall. Lots of spots without any noise.
Yeah.
Except their voices.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is weird because Dragon Ball Z usually, well, at least what I'm used to, Bruce Falconer has like, you're always hearing music, which is awesome.
Yeah, we listened to it with the original Japanese soundtrack, by the way.
Yeah, so there's just like points where it's quiet. And yeah, when Frieza appears, there wasn't music. You just heard like just slapping that tail. And then they zoom in on it and he slaps it some more.
I feel like he does that on Namek.
He
the
does,
old
but
tail slap.
there's not that much emphasis on like the slap and the... Yeah, I don't know. It's funny.
Did you like Gohan One Punch Manning Frieza?
Yeah, I thought that was cool. Still very weird that Frieza wasn't the villain for that half of the movie.
And
It would have made a much better subplot.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it would have. It does make sense that Gohan one punched him. To be fair, I like that.
Sure, but
I like
It's
that.
a little frustrating. Wesley, we didn't catch this, but I don't know if you saw it. Before like a single frame, we actually see Bojack's face, which would have been.
I did see Bojack,
which isn't his movie, so maybe it wouldn't really fit as a subplot in that case. But would have been. It's not even mentioned.
I did think it was funny because we were just talking about Bojack Unbound.
Do I know Bojack?
You do not know Bojack. Bojack Unbound, another one of these movies like this, fairly mediocre.
It's one of the better ones, I think.
I mixed it up with Super Android 13. It's been many years.
What is one of the better ones, though?
This.
Okay, yeah. So we're still...
This one, and the first 2 Broly movies are generally considered to be the best
in this era.
I think this one is most people's favorite. It like out of all the Dragon Ball Z specials.
Because of Gogeta.
Was this in theaters?
No, I doubt. No, the first these are all specials. They're not actually movies. They're just promotional. Okay. But this is like later on where they actually started putting effort into like, I don't know. They put effort into Broly in them, but like they put more. They realized that people were enjoying them as movies essentially, and so they kind of like put a little more effort into them. And then, to my knowledge, the first Dragon Ball Z movie to be in theaters in the U.S., at least in my day, was Battle of Gods, which I saw. And it was only in theaters for 1 day, maybe 2, sub and dub. And if you didn't go, you missed it. And I went. 2013. I remember it
OG?
like it was yesterday. But I could be wrong on that. Anyway, and then we get a lot of Hitler. Lots of Hitler.
Yeah.
We get a Jesus Christ cameo.
I did think that was weird. Jesus confirmed for this universe, which, given the other events that happened in Dragon Ball Z, probably has a bit of a little existential crisis for some people.
There's some weird. So the fact that Hitler and Jesus H. Christ are now canonized, given he doesn't appear in he wasn't resurrected. It wasn't the second coming. He was. Someone dropped a crucifix.
Yeah. There's also Dracula. Don't forget about Dracula and Cinderella.
Is Dracula okay? Rewind and try to think. You two. He fights a vampire in Dragon Ball when he fights against Grandpa Gohan, who's like resurrected. It's a vampire. He fights a mummy, a vampire, the Invisible Man, and then Grandpa Gohan. Was that Dracula or was that just a vampire? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't think that was... No, actually, it probably was Dracula. If you have the mummy and you have the Invisible Man, like, it makes sense for the other universal monster to be Dracula.
Maybe.
I don't know if this was the same, though. I don't know if this...
Nah,
I don't even
probably
think this
not.
was a nod to that. I think they just picked Dracula and then we're like, oh, yeah. Remember when?
What is that horrible trailer we keep seeing? Nicolas Cage is Dracula. What is that called?
I think... Is it just called Dracula?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, but it's about his assistant.
Anyway, keep going. What were you about to say? Or did you have a thought, or were we?
Yeah, the Hitler emphasis is just so odd. Like, obviously, there's like the reasons why you probably don't need to have Hitler in your like animated show for kids, but like, it doesn't even like why. Even like even without the problematic stuff of Hitler, like why? Why?
They make Hitler look like very stupid. It's a caricature, obviously, and it's been like 100 years since Hitler was around.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean,
Well, at the time, I guess it hadn't been 100 years.
Actually, if you think about it, only had been 50.
Yeah,
It's not that long.
That's actually, I rewind on that.
Yeah, I mean, they don't like make him a cool character or anything. Like, they don't.
Yeah.
He is like still. Yeah, he gets shit on. I just like, even like within the universe of Dragon Ball Z, we had Frieza, there's Cell.
Frieza is space Hitler. Let's just
I just want to I want to know what they were thinking. Like in the writing room, I imagine they were like, Frieza, bring him back for sure. Yeah, Cell, and they're like, probably not Cell. That'd be too hype. And then somebody was like, Hitler, and they were like, let's do it. Let's roll with that.
I do think it would have been really cool if Gohan's Saiyaman subplot would have been like a Saiyaman and Videl versus
Cell.
Frieza and Cell.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But yeah, it was Hitler, and they blast him to smithereens. And they also, whenever they went Super Saiyan, they have blonde hair and blue eyes. And I was like, are they going to say something? And sure enough,
Yeah, they sure did. They sure did go there. But
then they
know,
went full Wolfenstein on him and blasted him up.
it is very interesting. I don't think that they would make that decision today.
I don't think they would either. Yeah, I don't even know if a kid's rating on a movie would allow that.
An appearance of Hitler?
Yeah.
Well, it's actually illegal in a lot of European countries too. Germany, for example, is an easy one.
Yeah.
It was at this point that I realized that I felt like I couldn't breathe because the pacing was so fast. And like the pacing is fast, not like in terms of plot progression, obviously, but like just the fact that in between everyone's lines, there was like no time, no space. Like someone would say a line, the next person would say their line, and so on. Like it was very quickly paced.
And not only that, but I don't know if you guys noticed this, but it feels like everyone's lines were a little on the elegant side. Like especially like I noticed this with Goku. Goku's lines were very, like they were so much more sophisticated almost than they usually are. Like going back to how he's describing the Patara dance, and also the fusion dance, and also like just the way he was so understanding of Vegeta's position, and everyone's lines were just so much on a higher level.
See, I think I think that his lines were like a little more accurate to character than a lot of his Z lines are, dub wise. You've watched Kai most recently, if you're talking Z versus Kai, but like I don't know if you remember how bad Z sometimes is in terms of dubisms, but sometimes it's bad. But I mean, I didn't think it was. I thought some of the lines were weird for pretty much every character. Vegeta's voice acting was weird. Like something with the ADR was off. And then of course, writing wise, is probably just an intern.
Yeah. The back like with the pacing, I was like, oh yeah, this is really fast at the end. And then the end of the movie, Goku and Vegeta's like wrap up was so fast and out of nowhere. And it also, I mean, this movie is not asking you to think so much about like Z, but like they aren't at this level yet, which Vegeta kind of reflected, but Goku was like very heartwarming. And this would have been before the big moment where they like reconcile, which doesn't really matter. I mean, this is like a, separate movie, but yeah, at the end, Vegeta's like, I gotta go. And then Goku's like, oh, you helped me, blah, blah, blah. And then Vegeta's like, bye. And then starts to like fade away.
It's like, and you haven't been able to train all this time without a body. How long had it been? I mean,
right. He died like yesterday in the canon. No, I know. And actually, yeah, I kind of agree with what Ryan's saying now, because whenever Vegeta has his moment in the Mountain of Needles, was it?
I do like that. The sign, they had a sign that pointed to the mountain.
It's like Goo Lagoon from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Blood Lake, Mountain of Needles. But anyway, I thought his moment was a bit like, yeah, the way that whenever Vegeta refused to fuse a few times, and then Goku kind of came to an understanding, like, and they had that conversation where he was like, I don't want to spend this last time with us hanging out together fighting, like that kind of thing. I did think it was a bit like they're not at that point yet.
Dramatic.
Yeah, dramatic, and not like out of character, I guess, but definitely not fitting to their characters. So I guess that's what that means.
Plus, at this point, Vegeta would probably not have done what he needed to do to lose his body. I think he would have been more stoked to be back. Because before he's like, I don't know what happened. I was dead, and it feels like a dream. But now he's back, so I imagine he'd be like, I'd imagine he'd at least challenge Goku once before saving the day and ending his life again.
Right. So, and this completely recontextualizes the fact that like he assumedly saw Goku just now in Super Saiyan 3, and that's like a whole plot point in the show.
Yeah.
Being, that he realizes that he had Super Saiyan 3 in his pocket. And then on top of that, what was one more thing I was going to say? Well, I don't know. That's pretty much it, I guess. Ryan, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, it's not really fair. If you're talking about the end of Z, where, the end of Kid Buu, where he's just looking at Goku like, man, he's so strong. He's so amazing. No way can I ever live up to him.
Yeah.
Technically, that hadn't happened up at that point.
That's what we're saying. Is like they're acting like that has already happened, kind of. Yeah. What was up with? Okay, so I guess all of a sudden they get the Dragon Balls and Goten gets hit in the head with a golf ball. I actually liked that because I'm not the biggest Goten fan, and I thought the moment where he put the golf ball in the hole in one was sweet, and the old guy was really excited about it. Little moments, right? But what was up with the moment where they summoned Shenron? And Gohan's like, Bulma, you do it. And Bulma's like, no, you're the only one who should call him.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, what?
It's like
the
every
hell?
line. That's exactly what I was referring to. It was like every line is just so dramatic. That was one of the examples.
As if Bulma hasn't called Shenron.
Yeah. She's
Also
more familiar with Shenron than Goten. Or Gohan. No, Goten. Gohan, yeah. Wait, that's right. Goten and yeah, both. But
either way, definitely both, because she's been around a lot longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, we pretty much at this point get to the point where Goku's fighting Big Baby. He's in like the base form for a while and mostly just evading, and then surprisingly it kind of seemed like, okay, so do you guys think like he kind of powered up at the wrong moments?
Yeah. Well, I just thought that he like gave up too quickly on. I didn't think Goku was putting in 100%, and then he was like, it's not working. I got to charge up, and then he like went to 3. Before that, though, there was a Kamehameha, and this ties into the Super Saiyan 3. Chris Schimmel put his whole shamusi into those screams.
Oh, Sean Schimmel.
That is
his whole shamusi. That's true.
Fun fact, that is the longest scream at 50 seconds.
Yeah, that was like that one Linkin Park song where he just keeps screaming, and I was like, because he's doing it, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to recreate this on the pod. And then he kept going, and I was like, I'm not recreating this on the pod.
It's so goddamn good. And I think that was the one. There's like one, it's a wives' tale, I think, where he says that he passed out in the booth. I don't know if that was the one or not. But anyway, it is really great. The Kamehameha is good. Kamehameha is good. And the Super Saiyan 3 is insane. Like, just the lungs on the guy. Even if it's like spliced, which I don't think it is. If it's spliced, it's really, really good. It's still absolutely insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like one of his best screams. And also, why does this special have the best Super Saiyan 3 transformation?
Yeah, it sure does, doesn't
Why
it?
Why is that the case? Maybe, ironically, this Super Saiyan 3 transformation has as much thud as it does in the shows, though. It's just kind of unnecessary, and it happens because it's
exactly
cool. More so when are we going to get a Super Saiyan 3 that thematically makes sense and is treated as big of a moment as it should be?
All you have to do is show him truly, really struggling and like on the brink of death as Super Saiyan 2, whatever, and then gets pushed to that point. And not once have we gotten that. I think that's what they were going for here. They didn't give it enough time. They wasted too much time on
It's just funny
other
because
things.
they were able to do that with Super Saiyan. Like if you look back at Cooler's Revenge of Cooler. Like,
that's another decent one we could watch.
Yeah, like that's exactly what happened. Spoiler.
It's a similar. It's basically a retelling of Namek, more or less. But
You're telling me Goku powers up in Revenge of Cooler's Revenge?
dude, that's the one thing.
I will say, fun tie back to the last appearance by Ryan, I think, is you said Gogeta.
He did say Gogeta.
And now we're on the episode where that makes sense. And I remember in the show, we got to the fusion. I was like, oh, it's Gogeta time. And then it was, and I was like, wait, what the heck?
It was Vegito.
Yep.
Yeah. So Gogeta is also, by the way, obviously the better name.
Agreed.
I would agree with that, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Where are we at? So, yeah, we get the Super Saiyan 3. It's incredible. It looks incredible. This is where we get the real kind of like not boost. Like this is where the animation, this feels like the main fight because this is where they put most of their time and effort into, I think. So we get the Super Saiyan 3. He does a super cool like lightning punch on the big baby Janemba. He does these cool blasts. You know, it's the best, in my opinion. This movie is the best that Super Saiyan 3 has ever looked by far. Like insanity. Yeah. And then this is where more or less where Big Baby dies and we get the real Janemba. How did you feel about design wise and like character wise the actual villain of the movie, like the actual Janemba? Okay. I know, Ryan, go ahead.
Ready?
Yes.
He's a better designed Demon King than Deborah.
Absolutely true.
Yeah, I would agree. Very, very cool design, and I liked his move set. It reminded me of Thanos when he's got the glove.
Yeah.
Because he's using like all kinds of different, like he's using opening portals in front of his face to take in a blast from Goku, and then he's like pixelating his arm to like go through time and space and hit from a different, like lots of cool dimension shifting, like universe bending type stuff, which makes sense with the show. And obviously we don't get anything like that in the show because we don't have any characters that are going through time and space like that.
Dude, just like first off, design wise, his colors and his design are like perfect. It's simple, but it's super effective. You get that he's the bad guy. Boom, like that's it.
If you were to say like, oh yeah, this is Dragon Ball Z's Satan, I'd be like, yes,
yeah,
that would be awesome.
Well, Satan, he's the champion actually.
Oh my god.
But yeah, and then moveset wise, dude, oh my god, it's so like whenever he pixelates, whenever he warps, dude, do you know how much effort? Yeah. That's why he's not in the show. First off, because the amount of effort. This is all not pre-computer, but this is all hand-drawn animation, and that shit probably took forever.
That's probably why they must have hired another studio to do the other half of the movie because it was so different.
That's probably true. That, the portals where like you would throw a punch and then it goes through the portal or a blast and you can hit yourself. And he's kind of just like a troll. Did you guys realize he doesn't have a single line?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering, your question mentioned like, what do you think of him as a character? And I was like, well, he's not much of a character, but a villain he was a fun punching bag with some cool moves.
I was going to say, do you think that like his lack of character is made up for in design and like fight choreography?
Absolutely. It's absolutely made up for it. Like the one I keep referencing, I guess I subtly decided what my favorite movie is, but I keep thinking of other movie villains that have like really good lines and I like them a lot. And I would put them put Janemba on par with them, even though he has no lines. Like
what is it?
It's BoJack. So we got to watch that now. We absolutely got to watch that next.
I'm down. I love BoJack.
BoJack Horseman, of course.
BoJack Horseman.
What is this, a crossover episode?
Yeah.
You don't get the joke.
Oh, okay.
It's from BoJack Horseman. Ryan got it. Did you watch? Yeah, you watched.
I watched it all.
I didn't watch it all. I watched the first 3 seasons.
It's depressing as shit, but really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to watch it, but I don't know if I want to. I've heard it's just like really depressing. And dark.
It's like if you just want to see like a depressing person ruin everyone's life around him.
I'll probably pass.
And he's acting like he's trying, but is he?
He's a horse.
Let's find out.
On BoJack Horseman speech.
No.
Dang it.
You missed another one. It's okay.
So yeah, we get the real Janemba. Yeah, we get Hitler loving Super Saiyan, which is kind of funny, kind of out of its time. We'll just take it for what it is. Dragon Ball Speak has a firm anti-Nazi stance.
Yeah, very.
I'll just go ahead and put out that disclaimer. And this is when Goku pretty much loses as a Super Saiyan 3 to Janemba. And despite, dude, the part where he's Super Saiyan 3 and he like flips onto his hand and then his hand goes like skirt and then he double kicks him in the face.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And all the hair, like they truly like put the effort in animating that hair. Anyway, yeah, so he loses. He gets hit into the bloody pond. And at this point, Janemba, or right before this, is when Janemba picks up this little thing on the ground. Please.
I believe it's I think, even though the size is weird, I think it's one of the clubs that the demons have.
The demons.
Yes.
Gazamez.
Yes.
So the way the framing and like the context, it feels like we're supposed to know what it is.
It looks like a baby rattle almost.
Yeah.
Like it was weird.
Like a little club, and then it turns into a sword, and you're just like, oh.
And then we cut the Jello.
We do the blood jelly.
I wanted to eat it. I actually wanted to eat a lot of stuff that was in this movie, like the forbidden jelly beans. Like I wanted to eat baby boy, baby boy. Yeah, I kind of want. I mean, I bet. Yeah, I just want to eat a lot.
Yeah, I did want to bring up. Can we just talk like the background work, like all the jelly beans and like the color work in general was super freaking interesting compared to like most set pieces. It's just a lot higher effort for sure. And then all of a sudden, who else but Vegeta appears for no reason, with no hint, no plan.
He doesn't even know either.
No, he's just like, whoa, what? I'm here. And he's just there. Were you expecting Vegeta?
Yes, only because if all the dead were coming back to life. Well,
okay.
I mean, we saw basically most everybody, and I was like, where's Vegeta? Didn't expect him to just show up.
Yeah.
Unannounced, but
Did you even know he was dead?
yeah, because Brandon mentioned it.
Oh, I did say I think Vegeta's dead.
But I would have presumed he was dead because Goku was dead.
I guess if I didn't say that, you maybe would have had less of a clue that Vegeta was in the movie because it's probably supposed to be like a big surprise. But I assumed that you had already seen Gogeta and figured out that they're going to fuse.
No, so thanks for ruining this damn movie.
Oh, boy. No wonder he didn't like it. Oh, this is the best part for me. All of a sudden, Goku and Vegeta are fighting Janemba. Or right before that, maybe. Either way, it like zooms in on his sword and it shrinks back down and disintegrates for no discernible reason.
Yeah.
Weapon degradation, man.
Oh, like Breath of the Wild?
Dragon Ball Z Fusion of the Wild Reborn.
I need you guys to both...
Kingdom.
One more?
Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn of the Kingdom Tears Queen Elizabeth.
I meant like one more word, not like
Dead.
the whole thing again. Do you guys think you have to hedge your bets right now and you have to be confident and it's yes or no only? In Tears of the Kingdom, does weapon degradation come back?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it absolutely has to.
It has to?
It does.
It's the biggest criticism of Breath of the Wild.
Yes, but that would be like, it's funny when people ask this question because to me, that's like asking, is reloading your weapon going to be in Call of Duty? Because like weapon degradation is just part of the base feature set of Breath of the Wild. It's not like a feature built on top of the game. It is just the game. Like it will be there. I would bet my life on it.
If they do anything, they might nerf it a little bit, like just increase the durability a bit, smidge.
I hope that they increase it. I'm tired of people being little babies.
People are definitely... First off, you are a bitch if you are like crying about weapon... what is it? It's not degradation.
It's,
Degradation.
no, it's durability.
Weapon durability in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. You find weapons everywhere, and they're
Yeah.
all cool. So use the cool one. You find another cool one.
And they scale with your level, too, so it's not like you're always stuck with a mop.
Yeah. Also, just go do the little attack dungeons, the little combat fights, and then boom, you get a really good sword that's
The
gonna
guardian
last you
ones.
a while.
And you get the Master Sword, too, at some point.
Which also,
It has like a charge,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
but it doesn't degrade. So, yeah, I say bring it back. I would not mind if the weapons lasted like 50% longer on average. I do think that, except for like Tree Branch.
Yeah, just for me, mentality wise, I hate using my favorite weapons, which kind of goes counter to what they're supposed to be used for, right? I mean, because I don't want them to break. So it's like, that's just me personal. I do like that it's there. It's just.
I was like that, and then I got to a point where I'm like, you know what? My new philosophy is if I get a cool weapon, I'm prioritizing using it just because it's cool. Because it's like the whole, what is it? It's like the RPG thing. Like you never use the health potions because, or God, Skyrim, for God's sake. How many droughts of lockpicking do you have?
Yeah.
Are you ever going to use them?
I don't even know if I don't think I used any potion except one.
Healing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his sword disintegrates. Vegeta's like, don't worry, Kakarot, I've got this. And once again, in true Vegeta fashion, pretty much one hit.
Yeah, it's not easy being Vegeta. I'll just say that.
Like destroyed.
Yeah.
He gets choked out of Super Saiyan literally within 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's funny because for about half of Dragon Ball Z, you're like, okay, him and Goku are, true rivals. And then the other half is Goku is a nice friend.
What's funny to me too is like if you look back at like the Frieza saga, right? You can understand that Vegeta thinks that him and Goku are on equal planes. Like before he really takes out the Ginyu Force. Here, it's like, dude, you just saw him be Super Saiyan 3. You're nowhere near that level of power, and you're gonna try to pretend that you have a chance. Like,
it's in character.
He's consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let's be real. He hasn't had the realization yet. Let's just say that. So yeah, they're in Needle Mountain. We kind of touched on this, but
it's actually the Mountain of Needles.
Pardon me.
Not Needle Mountain.
I should have known.
Idiot.
Well. And then, yeah, so Goku's like, well, we can win if we fight together. And he's like, no, it'll be slaughter. And then he's like, no, we need a fuse. And then Vegeta's like, what? And it's kind of like old after the first time. So we've kind of seen this happen already because of the Vegito. And he's like, I refuse to fuse with you. And it's in character, yes. And I guess in this canon, so to speak, this would be before they ever became Vegito. But it's not, it's kind of annoying because they're gonna fuse. And like, it's just kind of annoying. Thoughts on that?
I would agree. Yeah. But I do like Goku explaining it to Vegeta how it works. As I showcased with the perfect impression earlier in the show.
He doesn't like the poses.
Mm-mm.
He doesn't like the dancing.
Yeah, I feel like the show plays up how corny it's supposed to look. To me, I think maybe I'm corny myself. I kind of like the dance. I think it looks, I'm not gonna say it's badass, but I think it makes sense. I like it.
So yeah, he doesn't like it, but they fuse into Veku.
Yeah.
So how about this? This is where my problem with the movie pretty much starts and ends. Is that we get, I think, probably 5 to 6 minutes of Veku. And we get 25 to 35 seconds of Gogeta. That is a little frustrating to me.
I actually like Veku.
Did you like him because of the toots?
I put Veku equals Wario.
It kind of is like Wario, where like
he's eating, he's talking, he's mentioning eating double cheeseburger, double meat, double cheese.
No, double meat, double cheese. Yeah. I was like, why did he say
respect to that? And then he farts on him. He builds it up and then rips, and that damn near takes out. that almost takes him out. They're making references to Wario,
like from Super Wario Land. Oh wait, what is it called? Which one did we have? Which one did we have on GameCube? Which Wario game?
We didn't have a GameCube Wario
Game Boy.
We had Super Wario Land
2. I thought it was 2. There's 4 of them apparently.
On your Nintendo Switch, I think.
Really?
Yeah, one of the Game Boy Wario.
I think it's the first Wario Land.
Oh.
There's 4 of them on Game Boy. Who the hell knew? And there's Wario World. There's 5.
I've never played the Wario games, but
they're good.
The people that have played them love them.
Ours was good.
I did like mine.
It was really good.
I don't even know what happened to it.
And they just made this new game called Pizza Tower. Have you seen all the memes on that? Maybe it's just my circle.
The game is called Pizza Tower?
Yeah.
I've heard...
it's Wario. It's essentially Wario.
Okay. I heard someone mention it on TikTok. I did not know it was a game.
I think yeah, it is. And then there's also Anton Smash, I think. Anton Blast?
of the Luca or something.
I don't know, but it's like green. The dude's green, and it's another Wario like. Let's just say. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Anyway, I was not a big fan of Veku. I thought it was funny because he's farting, and I do like a good fart. But
It's
Pikkon,
stinky too.
yeah, very. They're running away. Pikkon ends up stepping in. For about 1 second, is able to hold off Janemba, and then gets double fisted in the ears.
Yeah, his I don't even know what happened. I thought it was gonna be more graphic, and then I remember they can't really do what they wanted to do, which was I think blast his skull open.
Well, we get the one line. Wow, he's so strong. Pass out.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But yeah, after that, they successfully fuse into Gogeta. I think it is one of the coolest. It's such a back and forth for me because the character, they kind of like, it's a little unceremonious. Like they kind of just cut to him and then there he is. Like instead of like maybe like a pan and a zoom and the music is going. But his design to me is as perfect as Janemba's. I think it is so much cooler looking than Vegito. Because I love the open vest. I love like the Middle Eastern look, and I love I just like the characterization more and the name more and the appearance more in general. I just like it more. It's a huge debate. Vegito versus Gogeta, who would win? Hard to say. We didn't really get to see Gogeta do anything, but I still say Gogeta wins. And basically, Gogeta does what is known as the Soul Punisher, which is the little rainbow ball that he conjures up, and it, I think, is supposedly basically vanquishes evil in a entity. And that's the only thing he does.
A la Ghost Rider.
Who does that in Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider.
Can you explain? I don't remember.
He's a guy who rides Ghost.
With the bike.
The Super Ghost Kamikazes?
It's Nicolas Cage.
Oh. And then
bring him back in the MCU. Do it.
And we do get a.
He's already been brought back, man. Not as Nicolas Cage though. He's in the TV show. What's it called?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's right. Yeah. That's a different Ghost Rider, though. They could still bring back Nick Cage's.
You know what? That's actually true because canonically, it doesn't really. There's been multiple Ghost Riders.
Yeah.
So true.
We just got our third Hellboy casting info.
Who is the cast?
I don't remember.
I know they're like
it's
trying
not
to make
someone I
one,
know.
but-
No, he's cast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If it's not Ron Perlman, then it's not even worth watching, honestly.
See, I liked David Harbour,
That movie was really bad, though.
but that is
Really,
literally
really
one of the
bad.
worst goddamn movies we went and saw it in theaters with.
Yeah,
We got a cocktail or a beer,
Yeah,
2 beers.
at TGI Fridays.
TGI Fridays, and it was truly one of the most horrible experiences I've ever had in a movie
Yeah,
theater.
it's pretty bad. But he's a good design. I will say
But
he's a good designed.
Not because of David Harbour.
Yeah,
He was great,
yeah.
ish.
Just the rest of the movie.
Anything else? Anything you guys want to go over?
No, it ends fast, and then it cuts back to Shinron, and he's like, "So who's got a wish?"
Whoa, that sounded just like Shinron.
And then the movie has like a weird. It ended like the way a sports movie ended, where there's like cut frames and
Like angels in the outfield.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's the end of the movie.
Bad
We
News
did it.
Bears.
Yeah, that movie's good. Or I
Ryan-
remember it being good.
Any additional? I did not. No. Oh, which one? Oh, Country Bears scared the shit out of me as
Country
a kid.
Bears is goated.
No, it scared me actually as a kid.
It's a scary
It's
movie.
scary.
Yeah,
You know, it's not scary. Haunted Mansion, but it's good.
Haunted Mansion is good. Don't let people tell you otherwise. Rewatch it. It's a great 2004 or 2002 hit movie, criminally underrated, and they have a new one coming out, and it looks very good as well for different reasons.
Eddie Murphy, Shrek.
That was really good.
Ryan, thoughts on Haunted Mansion? I only bring this up because we talked about it before we started
The
recording.
only thoughts I have, man, I don't know where these guys are coming from. That Eddie Murphy movie, I thought it was pretty terrible.
It has Lady, what is her name in the ball? The crystal ball? Lady.
Oh yeah, it's. I know who you're talking about.
Wait, lady.
What's her
in-
name?
in
What's
the-
the
in the
character's
crystal
name
ball.
in the crystal ball?
Oh, Madame Leota.
Oh, Madam.
Yeah.
Madam Lady. Ryan, any additional thoughts on the movie? Not Haunted Mansion.
I look forward to our next movie, whichever one that may be. We have 2 options, I believe, but whichever one I'm looking forward to.
So everyone, Ryan's gonna be here for Period. We need to get moving on Super. We're doing Battle of Gods and Resurrection F next for sure. We're moving past. This is the end of the Z era for now for us. We'll come back and review some Z movies, especially if there's popular demand. But Ryan will be present for all movies. So Battle of Gods is next week. And I'm excited. I'm excited because it's Wesley's first quote unquote modern Dragon Ball experience. And it's just a new chapter and it's exciting.
We're jumping ahead like 15 years in animation quality.
Out of curiosity,
In some ways.
what have you heard about that first movie?
I don't know anything about it except that's where they get like the blue hair. Only because I've seen them with blue hair.
Do you... Okay, so let's just talk... Okay, yeah, you said jump ahead in animation quality. I will say right now that Fusion Reborn is like top 3 animated Dragon Ball Z projects of all time. Dragon Ball projects of all time.
Well, I just mean
This is peak.
I just mean like the actual quality of the art.
Like it's just more modern.
Yeah,
yeah,
more modern.
Yeah, that's
like,
true. That's true.
Just sound quality. I mean, we watched the English audio on Dragon Ball Z, which is just 2.1 stereo, which is like
Yeah.
nothing. Japanese is 5.1. I'm sure that if we're watching on Blu-ray, it's going to be like pretty. Yeah, I'm just excited. Yeah,
It's just modern. Yeah,
2
more
decades
modern.
later, what are they able to do with Dragon Ball Z?
It's like when you get to episode roughly 200 of One Piece and it's no longer 4:3 aspect ratio and
Yeah.
now it's 16:9.
Or it's
And
like jumping from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z.
Is that a 3/4 or a 4:3 to 16:9?
It was when I watched it. Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't remember how I watched it. Oh, I watched it on
Funimation. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the app,
The worst.
the
app
horrible
ever.
app.
Yeah. We did it.
Ryan, any close? Hello, we gotta go. Let's. Hey, that's all, folks. Let's give it a score.
As something to watch, I'll give it a 4 out of 7 stars.
Oh my god.
It is.
Stand by it. Stand by your answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand by it. I think it's a 3 out of 7 special, but I enjoyed it, and it's very weird and quirky, and it's a different side of Dragon Ball Z that was enjoyable to watch this one time. I probably will not return to it just like the other ones.
But if I retweet a clip, will you at least like watch the 60-second clip
Yes.
and like enjoy the quality of the animation?
Yeah.
Because it's really cool.
Yeah.
Second, was there any moment during the film where you were like, God, I wish I was doing anything else right now? Like how we felt during Garlic Jr., perhaps.
No.
Good. Ryan, your score?
I give it on the basis of Dragon Ball Z movies, I give it a 5.5 out of 7.
See, there's no like 5.5 Dragon Ball.
Oh, that's true. All right, let's give it a 5.
You got to commit to either 5 or 6.
It's 5. It's 5.
All right.
I don't want to give it a 6.
Explain.
It's just, man, the highs are so high, but the lows they're not so low. So that's maybe why it's as high.
So low.
Oh man, but I mean, like, we've seen worse movies. Like the lows of Broly, I feel like were worse than the lows of this movie.
But do you think the highs of Broly are comparable to the highs of this movie?
No, the highs of this movie are better.
Oh,
Yeah, for me.
exceeding.
Yes. Between the graphics and just dude, Gogeta.
Yeah.
Gogeta's in this one.
Yeah.
But so I would watch clips of this movie, emphasis on clips, over a couple times. I can, like, over the course of a week, I can see myself doing that. Not so much with something like Broly. Yeah, for that reason, yeah. Although I think I do hate Goten and Trunks, man. Like, I feel like they're just always such a drag on anything they show up in.
They really are.
I actually probably would have enjoyed the cut version where they cut out Hitler. That's a whole subplot a little bit more just for that reason.
You could cut that and make this a really good 30-minute Dragon Ball Z episode. Like, if you cut everything that happens out on the regular Earth.
Even so, I would never say really good. Like, the
No.
story's so weak.
That's fair. But, like, I don't know. Sometimes we are cool with just seeing some people kick some butt.
And that is why I gave it a 6 out of 7. It is.
Whoa.
It's a visual feast. It's a treat. And Gogeta is probably the hypest character in Dragon Ball. Period.
Y'all really like Gogeta a lot.
We are not the only ones.
So we got 4, 5, 6. Is that what we got?
Yeah, I just think I think the animation is it's that bitch. Let's just say that. It is. And the Super Saiyan 3 was more or less done justice here. Which, you know, it's done justice in the Kid Buu fight and in first appearance, I guess. But anyway, really quick. We've got Fusion Reborn, Broly Second Coming, History of Trunks, Bardock, the father of Goku. You both have to rank all 5.
History of Trunks.
Okay, no. Okay. Starting with your favorite or least favorite?
Favorite, History of Trunks.
Your favorite is History of Trunks.
I don't know what I said about the movie back when we watched it, but in my head right now, it sits as like a very good movie.
What do you think of when you think History of Trunks? Like what moment?
Teen Trunks in general is still probably, it is my favorite design character, my favorite character design wise, and one of my favorite characters just as a person in the Dragon Ball Z universe.
That's very fair.
And I remember the scene specifically where they're in the rubble in the rain and Gohan does his thing.
Unforgettable.
Fusion Reborn, Broly Second Coming, Broly, and then the last one, Bardock.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like Bardock that much?
I don't remember. I didn't dislike
his final
the Broly.
stand against Frieza to me is like a very great moment.
That's all I remember from the movie.
That's all there really is to remember.
And I like Broly's character design. In the first one, it's kind of whatever. That movie's interesting. And I actually don't... Second Coming was like fine. Like I didn't hate that movie.
No, Second Coming, its lows are higher than the first Broly movie's lows.
Yes.
And then the highs are really good. Yeah, I think it's really good.
It's a fun, like, it's a different side of Dragon Ball Z, because who are the characters?
Gohan's the main.
Gohan and Trunks?
Trunks and Goten are there.
Yeah.
And then Vegeta's there? No. He's there in the first one. And then you get the family Kamehameha where Goku isn't there, but he's there in spirit.
Yes.
Anyway, and then you said History of Trunks is your number 1. So you think Fusion Reborn is the second best?
Yeah, I think I could swap that with Second Coming. But right now, Fusion Reborn.
And then, Bardock is bottom. Do you think? Okay, question, real quick. Knowing more or less nothing about the future Dragon Ball, do you think we ever get more Bardock or a canon version of Bardock?
Yeah, if we're getting more Nailed, then we have to get more Bardock.
I did tell Wesley that Nail has at least one more technically appearance. I don't know if you remember it, but it does exist.
Well, for me...
Oh, wait, one more. Oh, I'll save it. That's my next question. Go ahead, Ryan. Please.
For me, it would be... I like canon. I like anything that adds like canon. And even if it's technically non-canon, anything that's like doesn't contradict the canon, I like to adopt. So
I'd like to just... History of Trunks and Bardock, are generally accepted as canon, unless they are replaced in some way in the future. Anyway, go ahead.
So for me, number 1 is History of Trunks, because that's a solid story. It's an actual story with actual plot elements and a climax. And well, I guess they all have climaxes here, but
no, it's relatively self-contained. I get what you're saying, and it's actually competent as a story.
Yes. So History of Trunks as number 1. Number 2 is Bardock. Father Goku.
What do you like or dislike about Bardock?
Is it similar to History of Trunks in that it's actually like a cohesive story from start to finish?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like how also if you finish watching it too, it adds that little background about him being the legendary Super Saiyan. So that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, and the second part that they did later.
Like in the big picture,
that's pretty trash.
Yeah, that's definitely the lowest of it, but it's kind of interesting. Oh, that's
By
cool.
the way, those are two. I don't know if you realize that was made in like 2008.
Yeah,
that's like way later. What is it called? Oh, Bardock the Legendary? No, not the Legendary Super Saiyan.
Yeah, that's right.
No. You're thinking of Broly. There's a Bardock. There's a continuation. Mm-hmm. It's called the episode of Bardock. There's a continuation of the Bardock movie where when he's killed by Frieza, he goes back in time and
meets like the Frieza's ancestor.
Frieza's ancestor and has to fight him.
Yeah, as a Super Saiyan.
It's not great.
No, it's interesting.
Anyway, cool. Carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. And then third is Fusion Reborn, and the bottom two are just Broly Second Coming and Broly. But
yeah, so Fusion Reborn's my favorite, mostly because animation buff, I guess. And then I agree what you say about History of Trunks and Bardock. Bardock to me, I think the cool factor, I think Trunks and Bardock both have similar things helping carry them, which is the fact that everyone loves Trunks. Future Trunks. And you get more context around his story, and everyone loves future Gohan in that story, and the fact that he's such a good mentor to Trunks, and then his death causing Trunks' Super Saiyan. And then Bardock is just cool because it's Goku's dad. Like it's just cool to see more of his family and like what they did, and the fact that his dad actually like stood up to Frieza is really great. Obviously didn't have a chance. And then Broly Second Coming and Broly, I think I like the first one better just because it's Goku and Vegeta's there. And but there's a little bit more action in the second one, and the family Kamehameha is really cool. And then my last question is only for Wesley. Do you think Gogeta returns? And if you do think he returns, do you think he returns in Super? Do you think he returns in GT perhaps? What is the movies? Do you think there's other movies?
Yeah.
Do you think there's a context or can you provide a possible context rather?
I think he appears in other movies. I do not think he appears in Super. I do not think there is any more fusion in Super.
Okay, so I was also going to ask if you thought Vegito would make a return, possibly in Super or GT.
I don't think fusion. Just knowing what I know about Super, which is that they have something beyond Super Saiyan 3, I just don't really know why you'd need to fuse. I guess if you fused what's beyond Super Saiyan 3, you could do that. I don't know. For me, fusion has never landed, and I feel like I'm not alone, but...
So most of it just sucks because it's a cool concept.
It's a cool concept, but it's not. They don't execute it well, really, anywhere.
I think this is the best example
But
that we've
that's
seen.
a poor showing. Then still,
It was brief, but it was powerful and well done.
yeah.
I
But
think.
even like what you guys said, like you like the design, but he just appeared. Like they don't hype it up.
That's
and just.
but he's there. He says a couple of the hardest lines ever dropped in Dragon Ball history. They were incredible, and one shots the enemy. Like
With that vest on though.
I like the
The
vest.
puffy.
I like the puffy.
Is it cold out there? Is he in New York or something? Is it chilly? No. Why has he got the puffy vest?
Puffity
Why has
vest.
he got the puffs, man?
Was that what were you saying?
That's it. I don't think Fusion will make another appearance, and I kind of hope it doesn't. I'm a Fusion hater. I think.
You don't think it's marketable?
I do think it's marketable, but I think giving Goku and Vegeta different hair in new forms is more marketable.
They're both probably pretty marketable.
And somebody's eating ice cream. Ice cream's marketable. I just don't remember who.
He's talking. There's a certain character that loves eating food.
I just remember
You mean in Super?
in
Yeah.
the second movie in Resurrection F. All I remember is obviously Frieza, and I know that somewhere in the beginning of the movie, somebody's got a big glass bowl with like 50 scoops in it, and it looks damn good.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Dragon Ball Speak presents Fusion Reborn. Sorry we didn't have video. And next week we'll be doing Battle of Gods, and I think it's going to be really, really, really fun. And I'm excited. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon.
And I'm Wesley.
And
And I'm Ryan.
this is Dragon Ball Speak.